Hello, gamers, and welcome to my second attempt at recording a Devil May Cry Let's Play. I done goofed the first one, or more correctly, my mic done goofed the first one. I recorded the first couple of episodes, didn't really check to see how good they were. They sounded okay, just from the brief clip that I did from them. Then I went to edit them, and they were broken. There was way too much static, it was way too muffled. So now I'm recording on a different mic, a headset mic, a cheap headset mic, but hopefully it at least sounds clearer than the previous one did. If it didn't, you won't actually ever hear this. So let's take a little bit step back here. Devil May Cry was a PS2 game. It's now been released as an HD collection as well. I didn't play that because I own the first three on PS2, so that's the one I played. I had never played them before. I bought them during a time in my life when I was collecting video games for the sense that I would eventually play them, and then it turns out I liked movies a whole lot more, so I never actually got to them. But now I'm here. Now I'm doing a Let's Play channel. Now I'm planning on actually getting to these video games. And I'm going to do Devil May Cry, which comes from a genre of game I'm not especially good at. So you're going to get to see at least some deaths in this series. But apart from that, we'll just get into the game. I did turn on subtitles. You'll notice that there are currently no subtitles playing. That is because the great folks at Capcom, at least back in this day and age, decided that the characters, the main characters, the people with whom you spend the most time, do not deserve subtitles. If you are deaf or hard of hearing, you don't get to understand what they're saying. The only people that get subtitles are the bosses. I'm not entirely sure why this decision was made, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. From when I was playing the game, when I was listening to it, it didn't really matter what the dialogue was. She just storms in here. She's testing us right now, and she actually looks like she kills us right here. I mean, we just got stabbed through the chest with a sword and also lightning effects. But turns out she's not evil. She's not the bad guy. We're not losing before we even start. However, she is strong enough to pick up that motorcycle, but we are strong enough to stop it in midair and shoot it out with our pistols. I am not a physics major, but from what I gather, that's not how physics works. We're also strong enough to just walk around with that sword in us, as if it doesn't really impact us at all. We are playing as that guy, by the way. Dante is his name. Her name is Trish, I believe. Like I said, I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, she's not the villain. She's telling us that now. She's gonna team up with us, kind of, and we're gonna go stop the real bad guy, whose name, from what I can gather from the opening little bit, was Sparda, because Sparta was taken, I guess? I don't know. The game doesn't really matter to me. This is a blind playthrough, I'll reiterate that, and it's also not a very good playthrough. If you are a hardcore Devil May Cry fan, you're gonna be upset with me. You're gonna be disappointed in my inability to do combos. You're gonna be sad whenever I die, which is not an infrequent occurrence, let me tell you. And it's gonna stress you out a little bit. But you can tell me that in the comments, because engagement is good. So we are on this island. We're going to storm this castle, because all video games need a storm the castle moment, I suppose. She's like, oh, let's go to the top, and she just jumps there. We, on the other hand, cannot just jump there, because as we're good at jumping, I'll show you in just a second, we're pretty good at jumping, but we're not that good. So these yellow orbs are basically your continues in this game. We are gonna run out of them pretty quickly. We can slice a little bit, and see, we can jump decently. And if we jump onto something, we can double jump. You can't just double jump normally, but if you hit something, you can wall jump up it, I suppose, is the best way to describe that maneuver. So there's the castle that we're going to be spending at least the first part of this game in. I haven't actually beaten this game as of recording, so we're going to find out what happens. So we've got to break an evil spell and open the cursed door. That doesn't sound like it's going to be that big of a challenge. But there's magic. There's a seal, there's a spell, there's a cursed door. Who knows what can happen? One of the things that I struggle with early in this game, and for all of it, because, let's face it, I'm not that good at it, is this fixed camera where it just switches your position whenever you cross a certain threshold in the game. If your controller is tilted one way, or your thumbstick is tilted one way, and you're going that way, you will continue going that way until you release it, and then you'll kind of switch back to whatever perspective you're now in. I don't like it. I've never liked fixed camera angles for games like this. They make it difficult. You can't see enemies that are off screen until you actually get to that little point where it switches so you can see them. I just think it's bad design. I may be in the minority there, but I think the newer games, at least the newest game, has switched from being this fixed camera to a more traditional, over-the-top hack-and-slash God of War-y camera. I think God of War was... you could control it. It's been a long time since I played that game. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe you just got really upset at me for saying that God of War did not have a fixed camera. Oops. The thing we're looking at right now is basically our shopkeeper in this game. We collect those red orbs, which I'll probably refer to as gems more often than not, and we can spend them either here or after we beat a mission in order to upgrade ourselves. We can get new like healing items or new combo abilities. I'm not especially sure what I'm going to buy yet. I know we can't buy anything yet in this point of the game because we need 45 red orbs in order to open that door, and there are 45 red orbs in this room. So, it doesn't actually let us buy anything until we open the door and collect some more red orbs. I think most of the stuff costs under 1,000 of them. Like, I think the healing items cost like 400-ish, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but they're really, really beneficial because you can't take a lot of hits in this game, as it turns out. Like, you can take like 4 or 5 hits and then you die, and that depends on what type of hit it is. Like, some of the creatures don't do a ton of damage, but yeah. I'm not a big fan of the blocking / dodging mechanics in this game. Basically, you've got a jump button that also functions as your dodge button. If you hold it in one direction, you'll roll. Sometimes you'll just jump, or you'll do like a backflip type thing. It isn't the most intuitive design in the world. I know this game was early 2000s, so it's hard to blame it too much. I don't really think it had that many predecessors that were any good in this type of game, and I know some fans really love Devil May Cry, probably because it's difficult, because they get a challenge from it, and they get that sort of visceral thrill for beating that challenge. I'm not that kind of gamer. I gotta tell you, I'm okay with challenge, I'm okay with difficulty, but one that relies on this kind of thing, that relies on reaction time and skill, that's not my jam. My jam is more puzzle solving and RPGs and all that sort of thing. This game does have some puzzles, it appears. Like this one. This is really difficult. We've got to figure out how to get up the thing. It's not actually that difficult. I just kind of want to smash things. It's kind of Zelda-esque in that aspect, where we've got to smash things in order to get more red gems, use those gems in order to buy things. I called them gems there twice. Probably made you upset because they're red orbs. It's something that's going to continue, trust me. So we are also looking for a rusty key, and there is the rusty key. Then we can open that other door. That skeleton dude looks kind of scary, but he's not doing anything to us yet, so I guess we can just escape, probably. And oh no, he's mad. We stole his key. And I don't know what these enemies are called. Someone's gonna correct me, I'm sure. But it doesn't tell you. So we're actually getting the gameplay now. I don't know if the red ones and the green ones and the blue ones are all different, or if they're just like different health type things. I don't know. This is a blind playthrough, like I said. I haven't looked up anything of how to beat this game, how to do anything. All I know is the controls, and that you can slice and shoot and jump. And that's about all I know about Devil May Cry. The guns seem like they do not do a lot of damage, but since you can kind of spam them, that's not too bad. At least you can do that before they get close to you, and then you slice them. That seems to be the strategy to go to. I'm not 100% sure that's right, but it's what I'm going to attempt, because it's worked so far. There's a ladder, but the lid is closed. Oh no! Guess we'll have to find another way around, Dante. I'm sure a lot of, at least early on in this game where I'm exploring, I'm trying to figure out what things are. That's stuff that isn't going to play in right away. I know you can do multiple playthroughs of this game and at least some things carry over. I assume some of this is for New Game Plus. I don't know, I don't care. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Trying to get a sense of my bearings, mostly. It's not an easy game, okay? And I'm not the smartest cat in this perch. Which I don't think that's a phrase, but it's now going to be a phrase. So what I do know is I have a rusty key. There's a door that said I need a rusty key in order to open it. So I'm going to head there and see if we can progress this game just a little bit before I die, which I will probably do. Haven't died yet, though. We're 12-ish minutes into this game. Still alive. Haven't died. I don't even know if I've taken a hit yet. I'm killing it, basically. Since this is a blind playthrough, it didn't give me any difficulty options. Chances are I would have selected easy had it given me one prior to playing. But I know it gives you an option after you die a few times, so I didn't select easy. I'll tell you that right now. I'll spoil that because I don't think that choice is going to happen on screen. But I kept it on normal because I am a very expert video gamer, as the channel name implies, or details in full, because that's its name. But I decided against switching to easy because I felt like if other people can beat it on normal their first try, I can beat it on normal my first try. And that should be enough to motivate me to actually do it. I know there are some challenges that are not the easiest, and I'm not the greatest at the game. So far, so good. And then more enemies show up. And see, this is what I'm talking about with the fixed camera angle. Those guys showed up out of the door. There's 2 or 3 doors open right now. I think it's 3. And I just got almost half of my health taken by projectiles from off screen. There's another couple daggers. How are you supposed to dodge those? I don't know. Comments can let me know if you've played this game, if you are really good at this game. And let me know, because I don't know how you're supposed to predict where those daggers are coming from if they're coming from off screen. You tell me. I was able to dodge those because I could see it, because the perspective's not that bad. But then the camera just switched on me. I couldn't dodge properly. I got stuck behind a pillar, and I died. And yes, I died on the first mission of this game. But I feel like it's only half my fault, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I probably should have done better there. But on the other hand, why? Why would the camera do that to me? Why would that pillar do that to me? Why isn't there a parry button or a block button? That would be nice. I like those buttons. They help me a lot. But in this game, that doesn't exist. You can only jump or roll out of the way, basically. And that's all there is. As I progress through this game, I recognize that you have to jump a lot more than I do at present time, and you always have to keep moving because they will just murder you, and it's unforgiving in that element. The enemies aren't easy. The game isn't easy. And I'm not good at it. And I'm gonna keep saying that until somebody believes me. I know in the custom robo playthrough I said I'm good at games. That was a bit. I'm not actually that good at games. I'm okay at them. I'm not terrible. And I'm willing to at least I'm willing to persevere. I'm willing to learn. You will see me get better as the series goes on. I don't stay this bad. And I think if you're a fan of this game or this genre, you should be appreciative of me being willing to stick it out and learn and get better. Because at one point that was you. At one point you were sitting there and you were dying to these enemies. And you were like, wow, I'm really bad at this. And maybe someone encouraged you to keep going, or maybe you were a kid and you were like, well, I'll just do this. And you eventually did it. Maybe someone did take you aside and say, hey, it's all gonna be okay. But I don't have that person. I have the internet, and the internet is terrible. The internet will tell you you suck even if you're good. Not that I'm saying I'm good, trust me. I am self-aware enough to understand that I am not good at this game. I am not likely to go replay it afterward, unless I wind up magically getting better as the playthrough goes on, like to the point where I can actually deal with things competently. But at least at this point, this isn't fun. This is a challenge, absolutely, but it's not fun, and video games are for having fun, right? At least most often. There's some games that are not designed to have fun. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but some of those narrative-driven games where they're telling the story, they just want to tell a story, and this is the medium they chose to tell it in. They're not always designed for fun, but most video games, that's their goal. They just want to entertain you. They want you to have fun playing them, and this, it's challenging. It's challenging the same way that those old NES and SNES games are challenging, in that, yeah, they're hard, but they're not a ton of fun to play, if that makes sense. But maybe it'll get better. I did beat the mission. I only died once, which is okay, maybe. The game does ask after this if I want to switch to easy, so I guess in the game sense it's not, but you know what? I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that I was able to do it. And if you want to continue watching me suck at this video game, I'll see you next time.